John and Bert were debating the merits of the Patriots season. And Bert, your point was name a position group of strength, a position of strength.
Yeah, so like I think they're going to be better. Don't get me wrong on that. Like, and I think like the 6, 7, 8, 9 win range is totally fair. I think they've got their head above water in a lot of spots. I think comparing them to Washington is, I think the strategy is the same as what the Commanders did last year. I'd also point out the environment the Commanders were in. They were competing in the NFC. And the NFC isn't nearly as deep as the AFC. Yes, there's the easy schedule thing. I look at where the Patriots are right now, and I think they've done a lot, again, to get their heads above water at a lot of positions. But I don't see one thing when I look at them where I'm like, oh my God, what's another team going to do about this? The closest I can get is the corner situation. Like, I think they're going to be really good at corner with Carlton Davis now playing opposite Christian Gonzalez. I think the defensive line's going to be pretty good. But is that like Philadelphia?
No. My only point was they've gotten better.
I mean, your best defensive lineman is somebody who didn't start for
right.
the Eagles
But
last year.
now that Barmore, who said yesterday he's healthy and ready to go, and Harold Landry theoretically knows what he's doing at one edge, and you have Keon White, who showed well early. I mean, all of these things are hypothetical, but if you look at multiple positions on the field, they've gotten better.
Yep.
They have more depth. Couple that with a much easier schedule, then you can see 7, 8, 9.
And
no problem.
And what I like about the schedule is, like, with certain teams, like, I think this is at a much higher level. This is like the case with San Francisco this year. Is their first month is a layup. So, like, they're losing a lot of guys.
Patriots schedule's easy at the start, too.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have some things that you've got to work out, or you got some young guys you're counting on where you're going to need growth, and your schedule is a little softer on the front end, well, then that's going to give you some time to ride out some of the growing pains, which I like that about the schedule here. That said, here's the flip side of it, okay? Flip side of it is people around here still have this mentality of 5 or 10 years ago. And look, it is what it is, but you're looking down at certain teams. If you are sitting in Vegas right now and you're the Raiders, and you got Pete Carroll, and you got Geno Smith, and you got Ashton Genty, and you got Brock Bowers, you have Max Crosby, and the schedule came out 2 days ago, and you see the Patriots in week 1, what are you thinking?
We couldn't have it easier.
Right. So, like, that's the thing. Is like you're not going from being an average team to being a good team. You're going from a bad team to
mediocre.
To being a team that looks at any other less than good team and thinks, that's a win for us.
Like Carolina played well down the stretch last year, right? Carolina. How do you think Carolina's looking at week 4 and being like, oh no, we're not going to win?
No, there's a big batch of teams every year, and the Patriots have now elevated themselves to be in the group that they can be one of these teams that looks like one Carolina, of these other teams
like Vegas.
Says, oh, if we want to get to 7, 8 wins, there's a win for us right there.
Carolina finished the season strong last year. Bryce Young showed signs of life. Vegas, they're bringing in Pete Carroll. They traded for Geno. They've got Ashton Genty now. Brock Bowers was one of the best young players we've seen come into the league in the last 4 or 5 years at his position. Like, Vegas has some momentum. Like, so you're one of these teams that's in that group. And when I hear people go through the schedule, and it's like the Patriots are going to sweep every one of those teams, which are their peers, right? Like Vegas and Carolina, until further notice, those are their peers.
That's
like they're
not the way
gonna,
I feel about
They're
this.
not going to sweep those teams.
No, that's not the way. I'm just hoping for 2-2.
Right.
After the last 2 years, I'm just hoping they split those 4. That, to me, is a good start.
I mean, you know what's interesting is, like, I even look at, like, Cleveland in week 8, right?
Yeah.
Look at the start of Cleveland's schedule. Holy crap. Like, they could start 0-6.
Okay.
And so now you're going to get to that point, like, where that's going to be a desperate team that is battle-hardened, that needs a win in the worst way,
Or-
maybe jobs, or it could be gone, or they could be
Or
completely
they
off
could
the
be
road.
Cleveland and spin into a ditch, and it won't be a problem.
And you could wind up facing Dylan Gabriel, but you don't know.
The Browns'
Patty,
schedule is
Isn't
no
that bad?
joke.
Baltimore, Green Bay, Lions, Minnesota.
Jesus.
At the
Steelers.
Steelers,
Oh, man.
Dolphins at home. Yeah, that's not an easy
I
schedule.
mean, it's 0-6, right? Like if you look at it, like your first blush with the Browns schedule would be 0-6.
Yeah. If you were they'll be the dog in the first 6 games unless there's an injury or something. All right, Bert, thank you.
If you like that clip, and how could you not? Check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for the latest from the Sports Hub, download at 985thesportshub.com.